So the King of the North will not be making a return anytime soon. But is this a smart move from Starmer? Because he was in a difficult situation here. He had to choose between allowing him to return, in which case, at worst case, Labour faced losing a by-election and losing the mayor. At best case, he got an opponent brought into the chamber who clearly wants his job. I'm reminded of the film The Death of Stalin. It's like a cabal of people smiling to his face while they calmly negotiate over his dead body and manoeuvre for who's going to have power and who's going to maintain power and who's going to face a firing squad. The problem with opposing his return is this will hang over Starmer like a sword of Damocles, that he doesn't have the balls to stand up to opposition, that he doesn't brook much opposition, that he has no time for a polarity of views. Accusations that are at the heart of much of his failure as a Prime Minister, his unpopularity. I was discussing this with a friend over the weekend, and I said Starmer's best approach is, and it's a bit Machiavellian, but is to allow Burnham to stand and then make sure he loses. Go and campaign for him yourself. Nobody likes you here. But instead, a government that happily wants to hand over billions to a country that has no proper historical claim to the Chagos Islands and would want to put us in hock for 100 years to pay a thank you to a country that has no relationship with it at all, because we lost a non-binding judgment. Do you know what a non-binding judgment is? It's one you can show the bird to. I'm reminded of the English Civil War and the Battle of Edge Hill in 1642. Neither the Royalists or the Parliamentarians had an immediate advantage. Neither of them could win it. But what it showed in this stalemate wasn't that the Royalists were defeated or that Parliament was defeated. It was that Parliament just had to keep fighting, keep plugging away, and eventually they would win by weight of application of power. Well, the King of the North is a phrase we're going to hear a lot of over the next 2 years as Starmer bumbles on. There's a reason the Conservatives have a fairly straightforward process for getting rid of a leader. It's that an unhealthy, failed leader drags the whole party down with them. Keir Starmer has no way of turning the ship. He can't make the Labour Party appealing under his leadership, and they can't easily get rid of him. So he's a millstone round the neck of the Labour Party, dragging them down and perturbing any improvement. If Reform win the by-election, how many voices will put their head above the parapet and say, if only Andy Burnham had stood, we wouldn't have proved that Reform could win that seat? You tell me what you think. And if we're at all on the same page, why don't you click that subscribe? Doesn't cost you anything, helps us a lot, and we can share our enjoyment of interesting times for the next 2 years.